If you're just starting out in content creation or just simply interested in gear that you should be investing in as a solo creator, this video is for you. Today, I'm gonna just be sharing my thoughts on gear that makes the process easier and minimizes costs. I've been acquiring gear for quite a number of years now, so allow me to help you not make the same mistakes I made. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around and let's talk about it. All right, the first piece of gear I want to talk about is an item that I believe gives you high production value with minimal effort. And that item is a camera slider, and specifically the Top Rig S60. This has been an amazing camera slider for me. I've had this thing for maybe 2 years, and it's definitely one of my favorite investments in the last couple years. It's not the biggest camera slider that you can get. I originally purchased the S40 and decided to upgrade to the S60. But honestly, as a solo creator, this is all you need. It gives beautiful B-roll, and it can act as basically a cameraman for us solo creators who don't have a cameraman when you want to get shots of yourself and have a little dynamic movement in them. So this is definitely worth the investment. You could control it from all the buttons right here. You don't need an app. And we do a lot of things through apps these days. Some things you just want to work. You just want to press a button. And that's what the S60 does. So I personally love this camera slider for a solo creator. I think it's invaluable. You get really high production value, beautiful B-roll shots, and not much effort. It comes with a really nice carry case or storage case. Also, it's nicely padded on the inside. I don't know the current price on it, but a decent price for a camera slider. And as a solo creator, an invaluable piece of gear, in my opinion. One of the next things I want to talk about is a big thing, and that's lighting, and specifically a lighting ecosystem. So this is just one of those things where you're going to watch a ton of videos, and a lot of creators are going to tell you, hey, just go buy the $50 Mount Dog kit on Amazon. And honestly, that just wouldn't be my recommendation. I've been down this road before, and it ends up just being a waste of money. Buy into an ecosystem. I don't care if that ecosystem is Neewer or Small Rig or Ulanzi or Amaran. It doesn't matter to me. Buy into an ecosystem. If you can't afford a big key light, buy a smaller light starting off. I know I just talked about not, needing an app for everything, but the great thing about buying into the lighting ecosystem is as you add on with additional lights, you sit down in front of your camera and you can adjust those lights right from the app. When you get 3 different lights, you got your main light and your little kick light and a little accent light back here or whatever. You can adjust those things right in front of the camera and be able to see, what the outcome is without having to get up and sit back down. And as a solo creator, that actually just becomes a big time waster. So lighting ecosystem, definitely something that I suggest that you look into when you're starting out, and don't waste your money. You can build on it. And even when you get a bigger light and a better light, that other light that you had before turns into some accent light or whatever. It's just a great way to look at it, lighting ecosystem. So the next thing I want to talk about is batteries, and specifically V-mount batteries. Here I have the Neewer PS150E 150 watt hour battery, but I also have just this generic battery that I bought off of Amazon. When you're first starting out, I don't care. These generic batteries are great. 40, 50, 60 bucks. Watch out for them on sale, Prime Day, whatever it is. Buy you a few of these. You cannot underestimate running out of battery in the middle of shooting, how much of a momentum killer that is. So buy you some of these V-mount batteries, buy you extra camera batteries, whatever batteries you need, buy a couple extra. It's just nothing worse than running out of battery and not getting the shot that you need or losing your momentum. Speaking of batteries, you need a way to keep those batteries charged, and it's always a plus when you could do that quickly. This is the Voltic 252 watt charger by Sabrent. And small disclaimer, Sabrent did send this out to me, but that's neither here nor there when it comes to my opinion on it. This has been an amazing charger, 252 watts. There's an A side and a B side, and they're, from my understanding, on separate circuits. So for instance, if I was going to take this V-mount battery that accepts 100 watts, I can plug it one on the A side, I can plug the other one on the B side, and they both will receive 100 watts, which if you research chargers at all, that's not the case in most instances. So this has been a great charger. I recommend it. If I had to pick out the cons, I would say number one is the AC port is on the bottom. So setting it vertically, like for a desk setup, is kind of not possible out the box. They do give you a back plate that you can mount to a wall and mount it, but to solve that, I printed this little dock so you could set it right in the dock. The cord runs out the back, and now you have vertical. So that has been awesome. I'll provide the 3D print file I created in the link below if you're interested in that. And the other con, I believe, is it might be priced $10 or $15 higher than my liking. I did recently see it was on sale. And also keep in mind, this is like having 226 watt chargers combined into one. So there is that. Thank you to Sabrent for sending it out, but make sure you have some good chargers to keep those batteries charged. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is on-camera monitors. And this is just one of those areas as a solo creator or a creator just starting out, save your money. So at some point I did buy the Viltrox X2, and I quickly returned it after I realized the setup I had worked perfectly fine. So I use the Monitor Plus app, also use the Monitor and Control app, but right now I'm using the Monitor Plus app, and $20 for the paid version. There is a free version. There's some great flexibility in using the app. You know, in certain situations, I'm able to pull it up on my iPhone, mount it to the top of my camera, and it works perfect. In situations like right now, I got it off to the side on my iPad. I'm able to get my shot set up, get my lighting straight, and I got a nice big iPad screen to see that on. So there's great versatility in it. I'm not saying there's not a situation that an on-camera monitor is not good for, but starting out or being a solo creator, small creator, save your money. You know, put that $200 some into V-mount batteries or camera sliders or a bunch of other things. Good lighting, who knows? But on-camera monitors, save your money. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is small cameras, action cameras, and why I believe they're kind of invaluable to a small creator's content creation process. A few years ago, I believe it was the GoPro 8 and a GoPro Session, and I sold them. And I didn't think I would miss them as much as I ended up missing them. And not too long ago, I ended up picking up a DJI Nano. And I'm not telling you to go get a Nano, but what I am telling you is there's a lot of situations where pulling out your big camera, your FX30, you just don't want to do it. You don't want to carry it with you. You're in situations where you don't want to pull out this big camera and draw attention, and having something small like an action camera is just invaluable to get the shot, because it's not always about the highest quality. Sometimes it's just about getting the shot, recording the moment, you know, not missing it. So get you an action camera. I don't care if it's like an Action 4 or Action 5 or a few generations ago GoPro or something like that, a Pocket 4 or whatever they're on. Save you some money, get you a used one, but get you an action camera and get the shot. So the last piece of gear I want to talk about is something that I believe makes the process a lot easier, and that is quick release plates. So here I have the Falcam F38 quick release plates, but you can get quick release plates from Arca Swiss or PGY Tech or whoever, you know, you choose to. I put plates on all my cameras, camera sliders, tripods, your overhead rig. I've got the backpack clip. It's just one of those things that, honestly, as a solo creator, you don't want to waste a lot of time going from tripod to camera slider trying to get that shot. You want to be able to go to the camera slider and back to the tripod like that. So get you a bunch of these plates, invest in a quick release system, and it's just something that you would thank yourself for later. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If there's anything you're interested in, I'll leave links in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll check you out in the next one.